Hello Style Squad, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be making this crochet mask. As you all may know, this pandemic is going on and I had to get everybody together. So here we are, starting off with a 3.75 crochet hook and some scrap yarn. To start off, I created a slip knot and I chained a chain of 11 chains. Why did I say chain 3 times? I don't know. Chain 11. Now you want to insert in the second chain from the hook. That is where we're starting our double crochet. So once we get it in there, we are going to double crochet all the way down. So at the end of this, you should have 10 double crochets. And yes, our chain 2 counts as a double crochet. So if you see me going through the back bumps, it's because I wanted to try a new technique. Someone said that the bottom row looks different when you do this, and it does, and I like it. So now I'm going to be going through the back bumps when I'm putting in my double crochets. So after this row, we are going to do 2 more rows just like this, straight double crochet. But this way we are chaining 2. And instead of going into the first where the chain 2 is coming out of, we are going to skip that. We're going to go into the second, crochet all the way down, and place our last double crochet in the chain 2. So we skipped like you see, and we're going to crochet all the way down till we get to our chain 2. Please don't forget about the chain 2 now that we're doing something that's a little different. I know we start off in the beginning and then we take it to the end and we don't do it in the chain 2, but we're doing it this way this time. I told you guys I switch it up. So switch it up with me. All right, second to last stitch. This is chain 2. It's hard for me. I crochet so tight. I don't know why. I'm really trying to loosen my tension. That's really something I'm working on right now, loosening my tension. And I'm going to keep rambling if I keep talking about it. So we're just going to chain 2, turn our work, and do 1 more row just like this. Okay, coming up on the end of this row, we are going to place our last few double crochets. Again, don't forget to place a double crochet in that chain 2. And the next row, we're going to begin increasing. So for the next 7 rows, we will be increasing on the outer edges. All right, so we're going to chain 2, turn our work, insert a double crochet in that very first stitch. This is how we're increasing. So we're going to place a double crochet in that very first stitch, work our way all the way down, and place 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space at the end of the row. So here we are coming up on the end, second to last stitch. And in our last stitch, we are going to be placing 2 double crochets. All right, so now you're going to chain 2 and repeat what we've been doing. So like I said, for the next 7 rows, we're going to be doing this. So this is row 5, and we are increasing on the outer edge. We're going to put a double crochet in the very first stitch and 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space all the way down. So I'm going to work this up until we get to row 10. So we are coming up on the end of row 10. This is the last row before we do 2 regular rows and then start our row of decrease. So we are inserting into the chain 2 space like we've been doing and placing our last 2 double crochets. All right. And then we're going to chain 2 and we're going to do a regular row. So a regular row, in this case, we are skipping the very first stitch, going into the second one, and then placing 1 double crochet in the chain 2 space at the end. You know how we do a regular row. All right, so coming up on the end of our first regular row, this is row 11. So we are placing our last few double crochets and we're going to place our last double crochet in our chain 2 space. I keep emphasizing that because it's easily forgettable and it could change the course of your whole pattern if you forget your chain 2. In some patterns, not in every pattern, but in some. So we're going to chain 2, skip the first, go into the second. This is our last regular row before we begin decreasing. So this is row 12. We are coming up on the end of row 12. As you can see, I'm placing my last double crochet in the chain 2 space. And then we are going to chain up 2. Look at our work. So this is what it's supposed to look like. As you can see, we have one side of the mask, and now we're going to be working to get the other side of the mask. So this other side of the mask will be decreasing because the first side we were increasing. Yeah, makes sense? Okay, so chain 2, like we said, turn your work. Now we're going to be decreasing. So this is how I'm going to decrease. Insert into the first stitch, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through 2. So like you're doing a double crochet. But you want to wrap your yarn again, insert into the next one, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through 2 like you're doing another double crochet, but now you want to wrap your yarn and pull through all of them. So this makes 1 stitch. I decrease in a lot of my videos. I've shown this many times. This is the way, like I said, I like to do it. So this is how I'm going to show you guys. We're going to decrease in the beginning and the end because we want our mask to concave inward. So you want to make sure you're at the last 3 stitches. The chain 2 counts as a space, and then your last 2 visible stitches. So we're going to place a decrease in our last 2 visible stitches, and then we're going to place a double crochet in the chain 2. So I'm going to show this one more time, and you are going to do this until you get to row 19. So here we are chaining 2 and placing our decrease. Again, we are decreasing in the second and the third and not the first and the second. Double crocheting all the way down till we get to our last few stitches. Then we're going to decrease, and then we're going to place a double crochet in the chain 2 space. So after your 2 straight rows, you're going to do 7 decrease rows, and then we're going to do 3 regular rows. So here we are coming up on the end of our 19th row. This is our last row of decrease. So we did 7 rows of decrease again after our 2 straight rows. So chain 2, turn the work, skip the first, double crochet in the second stitch. Then we're going to double crochet all the way down and place a double crochet in our chain 2, turn our work, do 2 more rows just like this. Then we're going to come back, do the ear portion and the border. All right, so this is our last double crochet of our whole base. After this, we are about to make the ear strings. I don't even know what to call them because it's not the elastic that goes over your ears, but you know, the strings that go over your ear. So this is what our mask looks like. Concaves in, protects the mouth, protects the nose. I put a coffee filter in mine. So however you want to protect yourself, that's your business, like my girl Tab would say. So depending on how you crochet, you want to chain between 25 chains if you chain loosely and 32 if you chain tightly. So because I crochet tight, I chain 32. I'm going to insert into our first stitch or the corner stitch, place a single crochet, and we're going to place 2 single crochets in every double crochet along the row. Sometimes I put 1 there, just depends, because it doesn't always allow me to put 2. Like the next one coming up, it only gave me space to put 1, but then the next one over I could put 2. So I mean, however it looks good, you are the artist. So I'm just going to be placing single crochets along the border until I get to the other corner where I'm going to chain my 32. If you did 25, 26, whatever you change, for the ear portion. And then we're going to connect. Do the same thing, working our way back down. And then our mask is done. Literally, this is the fastest project that I've been able to crochet. It only takes me an hour to do these, which is even like, I wish it took like 30 minutes. Here we are coming up on the end. I like to tuck in my tails by holding the tail behind my work and then tuck it in as much, and whatever is sticking out, I usually cut it with some scissors. So here we are. See, I didn't put 2 double crochets. I put 1 in every and then 2 in the end, you know, because it looked good to me. Whatever looked good to me. Now we're going to chain 32, like I said, or whatever you chain for your ear portion. Connecting to our other corner. And then placing single crochets all the way down. This is super easy, beginner friendly. And why not let either your first project or one of your projects be something that can protect you with a filter, baby, with the filter. Without the filter, it ain't doing nothing but looking cute. So here we are coming up on the end. My color started to change. I had this small piece of green, but it's whatever. Adds character. So I am placing my last single crochet. And then after, wrapping my yarn and fastening off. So I cut the yarn before I fastened off. That's why I'm not cutting in this clip. So now I'm going to use my hook to weave in the tail. And because it makes like a little knot, I like to pull that knot through the first stitch. It kind of blends it in when I pull it really tight. To me, it blends it in. And I just go back and forth, weaving in my tails. So there you have it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love all you guys. I love your support. Thank you so much for rocking with the Style Squad. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.